Welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We're back tonight. We're playing more Call of Cthulhu. We're nearing the end of our Eternal Lies campaign. And last episode, we had a little bit of a montage of events that kind of transpired between the end of Malta, where they, lost two of their party, including one PC, and arrival in Calcutta a couple of weeks later. And they are now preparing for a trek to Tibet so that they can summit Mount Kailash, because apparently a body of the Liar from Beyond, or the Thing with 1,000 Mouths, is within it, and they then need to cast a spell to flex open a crack of that mountain, descend into the mountain, summon a different elder god to do battle with the Liar from Beyond, and hopefully survive that. And so, yeah, that's where we're at. You guys got to Calcutta because you have a yacht now. It was part of your deal with Montgomery Donovan. You also, so you kind of ride in style, even though your pilot died. Will, you're able to do some reading into the Black Book of Esophagus, also known as Also Focus. And you were able to kind of go through some translated notes. One was a recipe for some kind of brew or mead, and another was some kind of ritual for summoning a courier of the upper air, whatever the hell that means. And you made friends with a bookseller on College Street in Calcutta by the name of Arundam Dasgupta. And the book was in Greek, but they translated it for you. And you did make some promises, sort of kind of, to potentially sell them the book once you were done with it. And you spent some time collecting ingredients for your ritual spell mead stuff. One of those ingredients was nectar, which you were able to find in Calcutta. It seems to have spread from Bangkok because you found it in an underground fight club. And you were kind of forced to take a hit before the seller would do a transaction with you. Patrick, you spent your time going to various temples and shrines in Calcutta, trying to sort of rededicate yourselves to the rituals of self-denial. You were also trying to inquire about pilgrimages to Mount Kailash, because you all learned that this place was a sacred holy site from all four of the major religions in the area, and going there was really supposed to be very important, but at the same time, like, you're not supposed to climb it, and no one ever has. Goldie, you managed to connect with somebody in the local Theosophical Society, and you all spent some time at the lodge, and you met a few people there, and you found another copy of your book that you had lost in the plane crash, the Book of Zon, and kind of continued your studies of it for a bit. And you did some more research into Kailash and stuff. Patrick, you were fortunate enough to encounter a local woman by the name of Leela, who we all know is Maitreyi's new character, who is willing to take you all there and to summit the mountain, going against basically everything in the area, everything in the region. And when you met with her, there's kind of a contentious meeting because Will was still hopped up a little bit on nectar, and was kind of very agitated. But you all managed to keep Leela on side, despite Will's behavior. We also saw that Marie spent some time learning a spell as well, called A Spell to Open the Sky, which was part of the deal with Montgomery Donovan, that is supposed to change the heavens somehow to make the heavens fit the situation that the heavens must be in, for the crack to flex open at the top of Mount Kailash. So that's last time. And so it's like late 1938. So it's like December 1938 to January 1939, kind of in that range. You all have a long trip ahead of you. And we ended with you all kind of spending some time, getting your stuff together. So I'm going to say, let's set the first scene, with you all coming back maybe from your meeting with Leela. And maybe we see Will coming in first because he left first. We see him like walking through the lobby of the hotel in which you all have been staying, or the four of you, part of the party have been staying. And you look up and you see it's kind of crowded, and there's like fans going and stuff, and it's very loud. But you hear a voice, Mr. Sawyer, Mr. Sawyer. Mr. Sawyer, sir, Mr. Sawyer. and you're just like kind of blowing past. You look around for a second, Will, and you notice the tall figure of Cyrus Lanfear standing in the lobby with 2 large suitcases at his side.
What on earth are you doing here?
Oh, what do you mean? What am I doing here? I was told to. I was told to come here.
By who?
Miss Wynn messaged Miss Rogers back in Alexandria that you were in need of assistance. You lost some of the belongings that you brought with you. I told you, Mr. Sawyer. I know what you did. I know you took them. Now you've lost them.
Excuse me?
You took the volumes.
Fly across the world to scold me? I've been risking my neck out here, and you just want to come here? All right, you want to be a research assistant, you can be a research assistant. We got rooms up here. Just grab your shit. Let's go.
And he looks around, and he's got these 2 large suitcases that he reaches down to grab. You can see a porter comes over to try to help him, and he waves them off.
No, he's got it. He's good.
And
don't want to mess the goods. We don't want to risk anything.
You hear the sounds of 2 people stepping up behind you. And you look over your shoulder, and you don't recognize any familiar people, but you definitely maybe see a face, but you don't know the name. But they have the look of somebody who might be in Walnut's employ. And they kind of step up right behind you. And they're like, yeah, maybe we don't make a scene in here, Mr. Sawyer. I don't think Miss Winston Rogers would be particularly appreciative.
Oh, well, I would hate to offend Miss Winston Rogers all the way across on the other side of the world. I am so sorry, everyone. I will not make a scene. Let me help you with your bags. And I go and I just forcefully grab one of Cyrus's bags.
Roll a luck test. All
right. Luck is 34. I rolled a 45.
Okay. And as you do, it breaks open, and you see all these ancient texts and tomes and various other highly occult and highly specialized materials suddenly pour out in the middle of a very busy lobby. Mr. Sawyer, what is? Oh goodness! Oh. And you see just the tearing of book spines on the ground. You see papers.
Jesus Christ!
And so he's
you don't even know how to latch a bag. You bring it in a ratty old suitcase.
Mr. Sawyer, perhaps you are not as abreast of how difficult it is to care for these. Perhaps,
yes, it's my fault. Yes, this is all my fault.
Well, yes, it is. Mr. Sawyer, I told you not to take the volumes with you, and you did. And from what I have heard, they are gone now. They are lost at the bottom of the Mediterranean. As he stands up in your face. And remember, he is a tall man. And so he stands up, and you've never really seen him lose his temper. And he's kind of standing over top of you, while the 2 Walnut security guys are everything's fine. Everyone move along. Go ahead. Nothing to see here. Just, 2 old pals. No, everything's fine.
Excuse me, my research assistant, Cyrus.
If you call me,
we're not to make a scene here because it would make
one more time
Miss Winston Rogers
bloody
upset.
Your nose, Mr.
And
Sawyer.
We don't want to make her upset, so quit making a fucking scene.
He reaches back with his free fist, and he's going to throw a punch at you.
I am still under the influence of nectar, right?
It doesn't matter. You'd be acting this way no matter what. Yeah, so that is a hit. You
knock him out.
Yeah, so that is a very good hit. That's a 7, 007 for old Cyrus Lanfear.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, just cold cock him.
I have always loved Cyrus Lanfear.
Oh, hey, that's an extreme success.
Even more now.
Do I get to dodge?
I'm going to say because you're talking to other people, you don't see it coming. This is the equivalent of a surprise.
I mean, I was talking over him to him, but okay.
Right, which means you weren't really paying attention to the fact that he pulled back his fist.
Oh,
you're going to take 8 points damage.
Oh my God.
8 points of damage for a punch?
It's an extreme
dead.
success.
Oh my gosh.
I got an extreme success. So it's
Oh,
an
man.
extreme success. Give you like the full dice and then the dice again.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Okay.
He's.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Is that more than half of your?
No, I've got 20 HP.
Okay.
Oh,
So
Thank
he
goodness.
just
It's
hit you
close.
for 8 points of damage here in
Please
the
tell me
lobby.
he goes down. Please tell me.
And well, he's not gonna go down, but like that's what
I mean,
that's what happens
just
to you.
like, you know.
And the other people, they're like, hey, Doc, we do, you can't do stuff like that. No, everything's fine, no. And you see like all these different hotel workers are now coming close, and they're like waving them up. No, everything's fine. They're just old friends. They're just happy to see each other. This is how they greet each other in America. Everything's fine. And like these people are like, this is very untoward, and so like there's definitely a scene that's starting to happen. And as you guys are standing around, you're like stepping on all of these ancient, wonderful, important clues and ingredients and materials needed to save the world. What do you do, Will?
I imagine 8 points would like knock me over. So I'd fall on my ass and I scramble up and I like straighten my clothes and I kind of like compose myself, make sure no one's grabbing me. And then I go and I just tackle like shoulder into Cyrus.
Okay, go ahead and roll your attack. He is not like yourself surprised at this, so he will attempt to. That's
a fail of 65 over 45.
What is it with Jeff being like, hey, here's allies?
I would have passed my dodge, but you missed anyway.
Literally, just like
I
So
slip on
you
a book,
swing,
I imagine.
slip, and you like step on a book, and you just hear a tearing of paper. Okay. At this point, I don't think you guys left immediately after Will, so we're gonna play this out a little bit further.
My gosh. I would like the walnuts looking guys to just like one on either side
don't
of
get to
Will,
control the
just
NPCs.
take him upstairs and just.
Well, I think one's gonna try to grab Will, and one's gonna try to grab.
Okay.
Cyrus. Okay. All right. So the first one's gonna go after Will, and it's essentially going to. This is a fighting maneuver. Is going to try to grab you. It's essentially going to wrap their arms around you.
Mm-hmm.
In a grapple. So this is coming now, so you can do what you like if you want to.
I wouldn't be
react to it.
necessarily trying to fight against the thugs, walnuts guys.
Okay. Well, I rolled an 11,
so
so I'm hot tonight. Look out.
yeah, I think that would work. I would be focused on Cyrus.
So he
I'm playing
grabs
this
you.
as like I'm still under the nectar and I'm just like tunnel vision.
And the other one I rolled a 13 also grabs Cyrus. So now there's like everything's fine, everybody. It's fine. We'll take care of it. This is just a little. It's bad blood. And you can see the porters now are kneeling down, and they're like, and they're like bellhops and such, and they're like kind of piling together some of the mess on the ground. And we see like old maps. We see pages. We see drawings of very nefarious looking things, some of which are certainly not suitable for public eye. Give me a luck test, Will.
I already gave one and failed, so
Give me another one.
That's pass. 8 under 38, under 34.
Fortunately, nothing that he sees is going to trigger a sanity test from him. But they are going to be, what is this? This is horrific. And then that's when you start to feel yourself being, all right, we're going up to our rooms now. You had too much to drink. In that right, Will, as you get pulled away and towards the elevator, basically. And we'll say the other one, you hear the voice of Land Fear, like calling out after you, and then picking up what's left, and also the two of them now move as well. All the while, like one of the talking walnut guys is doing his best to try to like convince the hotel manager and the staff that this is fine, everything's fine, and to varying degrees of success. Okay. So, Will, you get pushed up to your room at a certain point. I'm going to say the rest of you, Leela, I assume you probably have your own place to stay here. I mean, do you think you have an apartment or a home or house, or do you like just kind of sort of stay with a friend? What do you think?
No, I think she's got her own apartment.
Okay.
It's small and pretty utilitarian. It's pretty just where she like sleeps and showers and eats when she's not working.
Okay. So we'll say after your meeting. Ooh, that went too high. After your meeting with these mostly Americans, it sounded like, you head back, and we see the rest of you. We see Goldie and Marie and Patrick. You come into the lobby of your hotel. This is sometime after the incident that I just described, but you definitely see that there's a little bit of a tizzy going on inside the hotel. People are talking and pointing some things out, and like one or two people behind the desks, as you walk through, they kind of point at your group and then like whisper something to each other. What do you all do?
Marie is fairly sociable, so I think seeing this, she would sort of walk up to them. Yes, good evening. Okay, can we help you with anything?
Oh, no, we were just commenting that your friend, and I'll say you're talking to like, I don't know, some stuffy British dude, and he's, as it's redundant, but yeah, but it's like, we were just saying that, your young friend had a bit of a run-in, inside of that. We made things quite interesting, very inappropriate. A man who recently came, I believe, from the States. Yes.
And they immediately went to fisticuffs?
Well, as I understand it, your friend said some very insulting things, and the two argued over a few items, and then, one thing led to another, and punches were thrown.
Oh my word. You said they were arguing over things, and Joe's kind of looking around, seeing if anything seems misplaced. Did everything make it okay?
One of the newly arrived, one of his suitcases seems to have broken, but don't worry, we can fetch a replacement for you, or perhaps repair it. We have those services available here. I would extend the invitation directly, but they seemed quite heated, and it did not seem the time.
Well, I do certainly apologize that we have thus interrupted the ambiance of your lobby. I do hope you take my apologies.
The ambiance might have been interrupted, but it was a wonderful little show, so that was nice.
Well, when we put on a show, we intend for it to have been planned and not such brutality.
No. Well, little brutality never hurt anyone, did it? Yes.
And she's just sort of fake laughing at that because she puts on airs of being a bit more proper than that. So there is no damage that will be added to our bill or anything of the sort.
No. Everything in here, the decor was not affected. Not at all. But whatever he was carrying, I heard from one of my bellboys that quite the collection of debauchery.
My word, that he was traveling with. Well, I have no idea what any of that would be about, and I imagine we've kind of gotten, at this point, we've been here a little while, so some local coins or whatnot. I certainly don't know anything of which you might be speaking of, and then she'll sort of pass along what would seem to be kind of an appropriate amount of a tip. But I would certainly hope for
of course you don't.
Discretion.
I would never imply such a thing.
To this incident and any related things. Discretion, of course. Yes, and she's like, almost like if she needs to add more coin to the pile for like thorough discretion.
No, everything seems to go smoothly. But as you walk away, you definitely hear some snickering and such behind as you look back, and you can see some of the workers are still kind of watching you and Patrick and Goldie maneuver through the lobby.
Okay. So Marie would like to walk away, hoping that this story is not going to get told to anyone who might come asking.
So eventually, you guys are in this lift. You go up to your suite, which you've managed to book once more, not on your dime, but probably on Winston Rogers' dime. And as you go inside, you can see that there are, in addition to Will in the kind of like the main area where maybe some of the rooms connect, you can see that there is Cyrus Landfear, who is speaking animately with another man who you don't really know, just it's someone you've probably seen in the employ of Winston Rogers and Walnuts and such. And you can see another one is like off in a corner, and like there's Will, and Will,
Black
you're
eye.
being given, like some kind of, I don't know, something to kind of clean your face.
steak.
There's a,
I
you
just
have
got a
a
steak
piece of
up.
meat just covering your face. And that is what you walk in on, the three of you.
And I feel like going up the stairs, Marie would have kind of turned to Goldie. I swear you have not seen the best of us, but we really can all work together toward a common goal. This is highly unusual.
I will believe it when I see it, Miss Wynn. No offense.
It's almost the inverse, you see, when things are the calm before the storm. In between is when things tend to just sort of go all just helter skelter. But once everything is, we're in the middle of everything. We really are a team that does work quite well together.
And she just kind of like nods at you, but like it's one of those
Right,
just
right.
like, yeah, sure. Okay, whatever you have to tell yourself, lady. Kind of
So then
thing.
when yeah.
Whatever helps you sleep at
And
night.
then that's the moment too, like when we get upstairs and we open the door and we see Will,
Right.
black eye, blooming, Cyrus pissed off.
Mr. Lanfear, it's so good to see you.
He turns around and you can see he's a little disheveled. And he's always a very well put together man. He never really seems to lose his temper. He's very calm. But you can definitely tell that he's coming down a little bit. He's like his shirt, his tie is maybe a little askance. His vest might be slightly like you can see a little shirt kind of slightly coming up on, untucked underneath it. And he looks around really quickly, like he's gonna just snap. But then he sees you. Miss Wynn, yes, I've just arrived. There was an incident, but everything has resolved itself. And he comes over, kind of shakes your hand.
Don't shake his
Patrick.
hand. You let him get close, he'll throw a sucker punch at you.
I don't understand, Mr. Lanfear. Something must have happened. Mr. Sawyer is just not being himself today. I do.
Well, all due respect, Miss Wynn, granted that you do know him better than I, but my experiences with him thus far seem to suggest that his behavior is entirely consistent.
So I take it that you received our missive and our request for some items. I heard from downstairs. I paid them off as best I could. That they're not going to repeat this story. But I heard that some things might have been damaged. Did the map make it intact?
I have not had a chance to do a proper inventory yet, but at a time the present, Mr. Price, he kind of reach out and shake your hand, and then he'll turn to Goldie, and the two of you go back a ways, right? You
Yeah.
used to study together. You're into Goldie. It is wonderful to see you again.
Cyrus.
The circumstances notwithstanding, of course.
Of course.
We're both a long way from Providence.
Truly. And she just laughs. And she'll loop her arm with his and gently lay her hand on top of his. How about I help you with that inventory? Let's go get that started.
I would appreciate that greatly. Thank you.
And then presuming Goldie has her own rooms or something, we can lay it out on my bed if we need to, all the papers and everything. That should be a sufficient surface.
Sure. Okay. And so, we'll say the two of you step off. You find a space to start going through to see what he brought to see. what's been damaged in the process, that sort of thing. So Patrick, do you do anything when you come in? He shakes your hand and says hi. You see all these different people. You see Will, bloody nose, something on his face to soak it up. Definitely some tension in the room.
Hey, how's it going? How's the trip? Talking to the random bodyguards that Cyrus brought.
Yeah, it was fine. A long way here. You guys really found the other side of the world. You could have, it's like New York or Boston. Just could just everything's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah.
Let me take a look at that, Will. What'd you do? What'd you get into?
Didn't do anything. I helped the guy with his luggage and he sucker punched me. As soon as I put my hand down to grab his suitcase, he punches me in the fucking face.
Why would he do that? Come on.
How the hell should I know? Bastard's been reading crazy shit. He's going crazy.
Well, I'm one of the bodyguards. He was a little bit of an asshole, to be honest. He kept calling him a research assistant and some other bullshit. And so Cyrus put him in his place.
Are we allowed to do that now? Or are we allowed to just play random NPCs? Because I'm going to abuse this.
She nailed it. She did the exact same thing I probably would have said. That's perfect.
With the voice and everything.
Yeah,
Good
no, that was
job,
perfect.
Ashley.
Well, Ashley's got a backup character just in case.
So happy right now.
Well, looks like the deal's locked in with Leela, so we're good to go from here.
Fantastic.
All right.
Oh, am I supposed to be happy about that?
Oh, God. All right. So
Patrick just doesn't respond. Okay.
as you continue being a brat, let's go through.
I'm under the influence. It's not my fault.
You would behave this way.
I would not be aggressive. I would
You
be
took
a troll,
it like
but I
4
would not be
weeks
aggressive.
ago. I don't know why you're still suffering the effect. Yeah. Okay.
I've got a stash that I've been sipping on.
You took pot back in like 1936, and you still say you're feeling it. It's 2 years later. Okay. So let's talk. We sort of threw this idea out there. I know Melissa had said there was 1 or 2 things that she wanted to sort of request, and because there was so much time, it was totally reasonable to suggest that someone would be sent out, and it takes a while to get there. It's literally weeks of travel, but he does arrive with some things. So here's what we're gonna do. If there's something in particular that you would have wanted from Arkham, just let me know what it is, and if it's reasonable, he probably has it. If it's unreasonable, we'll do like a luck test, and then we'll go from there. So Marie, well, we'll start with you because I know you knew there was something specific that you wanted. And so what was that?
Yeah, so Marie had requested, so there was a map that Shima had found while we were on Kokrak Island that was a survey map of Mount Kailash, and it showed sort of where the gash was. So this is what she wants to be examining and studying, and so that's what she had written the note and mailed it from Alexandria.
Okay, and you will note that it does seem to have survived one of the suitcases breaking open. Ooh. It was stepped on, so there's maybe a footprint or 2 on it, but it is nonetheless intact as you see it kind of unfurled. It's not huge, but it's unfurled a little bit, and it definitely lays out where the mountain is. Like you can even see that there are, as you start to study it a little bit further, like there's little markings here and there about like summit sites and things like that, and there's also like references to different pilgrim paths and stuff. So it's definitely intact. It's definitely readable and studyable. And now you're looking at it with a little bit more context based upon your conversations with Leela and in your studies here in Calcutta. Things are making a little bit more sense. So put that in your inventory, and there's going to be a time in which you might want to remember that you have that with you. And I'm going to leave it to you to decide when that is, because it might be useful down the road.
Yeah,
okay?
I'm imagining kind of Marie in the future, just standing there with this map out, looking around and comparing the surroundings to it.
Okay, perfect. Goldie, was there something that you had hoped Cyrus would bring?
Yeah, so last episode I had mentioned I had hoped that I could get a book that Bev had studied that would have a spell in it that she was hoping to learn.
Mm-hmm.
My notes are taking forever to load. I do
The Gaze of
apologize.
Azathoth was the one
Yes.
that Bev was studying.
Yeah.
And that was the one that she had in her notes suggested it had some kind of ability to create a hyperspace gate. So yes, he opens up his second suitcase. Unfortunately, this black, like tanned leather book is still intact, hasn't suffered any issues, and he kind of pulls it out of where it's been nicely tucked, and he has like these little cloths and things that are separating them here and there, and he hands it over to you, but he does so with a caution, and he just says, the state of Dr. Key, the anthropologist who was previously with this party, her mind has broken, and granted it was, as I understand it from exposure to many stimuli, one of those was this book. So be careful, Goldie, as you read through this. As we both know, there are texts that merely describe, and there are texts that seem to carry with them power between the pages. This, if we are to trust in Dr. Key's current state, seems to be the latter. And he'll hand it over to you.
Yeah. And she'll take it, with like the respect it's due, and I hope that just this one exposure will not do me the same as Dr. Key. But I believe this instance calls for this knowledge, unfortunately.
Okay. So yeah, you can add that to your inventory. I can't remember if I made that available to you on Foundry. I'll check in a second, but yeah, you can add that to your inventory.
Okay.
Okay. Will or Patrick, was there something in particular that maybe you would have wanted or mentioned or anything like that to possibly be in this lot? Even you, Will, despite being a jackass. Yeah. What'd you think?
So when we left Malta, I did still have the bolt action rifle. Is it fair to say I still have that?
Yeah, you guys didn't lose any of the weapons that you had at the end of Malta. Yeah, you have.
So what I would have asked for then would be 2 45 automatic pistols to replace the 2 that I lost, and also a Tommy gun.
Okay, so Cyrus will like reach behind his jacket. He'll pull out the 2 pistols. I've got your pistols for you, and then he'll unload on you. And no,
does he have the Tommy gun too?
Pistols you can have. I would like a luck test for the Tommy gun.
I will roll this in Foundry, so we're all above board, and you guys believe me when I nail it. Fuck yeah, 30 under 34.
Okay.
Give me that Tommy gun.
Yeah, you just hear like, we had to break it down into some parts, but yeah, we got it for you. Here you go, Chief. Yeah.
Will's mood immediately lightens as he starts
Cyrus
putting it together.
Cyrus like, maybe once he calms down. And yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, just go ahead and take that back from you, Chief. Maybe tomorrow.
And the cloud comes over Will's face again.
Okay. Patrick, was there anything that you think of in terms of your equipment, materials, stuff like that from Arkham that you might have wanted?
I'd be satisfied just knowing how everyone's doing in Arkham. Like how Roger's doing, the people I know, Walnuts, all them.
Okay, so yeah, you kind of, when you went and talked to the the guard that was sent with Lanfear, Your psychology is really high. You might have sensed that there was like an avoidance, like they were kind of not looking in the eye a little bit. And so now that everyone's kind of spread out, you can see like Will and one of the other guards are kind of looking at these weapons. You see like Lanfear and like Goldie are going through some of the tomes and the books. Marie has this map that she has sprawled out on the table. You notice the other guard is kind of avoiding you, not really like looking at you a little bit. You do get that sense.
I didn't catch your name earlier.
Yeah, it's Anthony.
Hey, Anthony. How's everyone doing back in the States? How's Walnuts doing?
Oh yeah, Walnuts. He's that's what he does. He does this, he's Mickey. Yeah, he's fine. He's good. Yeah, Miss Rogers is good. Yeah. Yeah.
So nothing bothering you on the way here?
On the way here, well, lay over here, lay over there, It's, I never flown so much in my life, so yeah, it's pretty amazing, to be honest with you. But no, I'm fine, thanks. Yeah, thanks, thanks. Yeah.
Did you hear the news about Frank? Did you know the guy?
Oh, I didn't really know Mr. Kearns. No, I didn't. Mickey was real choked up. So was Miss Winston Rogers. I heard she might have even shed a tear at one point. Yeah.
That's good to hear. Looks like everything got what they wanted.
Who wanted Mr. Kearns dead?
That came out a bit wrong, huh? No, I didn't mean that. I meant hearing the others that they're okay.
Oh, yeah. So listen, I wasn't really supposed to tell you this. I was explicitly told that not to tell you this, but there was an incident before we left. A guy named Peter.
Yeah, he's one of my besties. Worked with them for years.
Yeah, well, apparently he has gone missing. And apparently your old barber shop, it burnt down.
Down.
Yeah, and Miss Winston Rogers did say that if you were to learn of this, to assure you that your legal fees, don't worry, she'll cover them.
I'm not worried about all that.
Well, yeah, sure. They can't get you from here, but
But isn't a guy?
Oh, yeah, well, that's what Mickey assumes. Yeah. But the local, the local constables of Arkham are very curious to talk to you. So, when you do return, Miss Winston Rogers would like you to make sure that you contact her first, so that when you speak with them with a lawyer present, her lawyer. Last time you folks tried to talk to the cops without the lawyer's presence, things got a little strange.
Yeah, I remember all that. Go to her first. Right.
Yeah. They, apparently, when everyone close to one particular individual goes missing and is presumed dead, they kind of look at the one particular individual, and that one's you, Mr. Price, I'm sorry to say.
Be more on my mind to think about. But I'll deal with it when I get there.
Sure. And listen, Mickey said that if you don't even want to deal with it at all, and you just want to relocate, start over somewhere, he's got connections. Don't worry, Chicago. I had Miss Wynn. She's from Chicago. She can probably tell you all all the nice places and such, neighborhoods to stay away from, neighborhoods to visit, things like that.
We'll see. Whenever this ends. New start does sound nice.
Sure. Maybe new name, that sort of thing. New look, haircut, that sort of thing.
Glad you told me that.
Yeah, besides, you don't want to go back to Arkham anyway. There's nectar everywhere. It's just can't get a handle on it. It's been spreading too. Boston, other places, Kingsport, everywhere around Massachusetts. It's just, yeah. I don't know. You thought the window, would kind of slow it down. Doesn't really seem like it's going to, but yeah.
We haven't seen much of it here.
Well, that's good to hear. Yeah. Anyhow.
Looks like everyone's busy. We could go prepare with them.
Sure, yeah. I hear you guys there going somewhere. Yeah. We're assigned to Mr. Lanfear. Like we're here to make sure nothing happens to him. You guys are the ones who kind of go out in the wilds and such,
Of course, we're not going to need them and come with us.
Good. Okay, well, yeah. So, don't say I said nothing to you. Okay?
It's a good idea.
Good. We're on the same page. Good. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and before we break out of the scene completely, was there anything else that you all would have called for, from Arkham, from your collection, your stockpile of items and resources and things like that?
Don't think so. The map is the one thing that Marie knew about.
Nothing for me.
Okay.
This is just Ashley to the group, but I was rereading through my notes over the week, and
No.
We don't do that here. We don't do that.
I do that here.
Notes? You've got notes?
Yes, I have season 1, season 2, and we have. It's kind of interesting how everyone keeps mentioning Edgar Job. Even when we were in Africa, George even brought him up. And so I don't know if you guys have any additional notes about him, but I just find it weird that his name kept popping up. And because he's not considered one of the big people.
You know specifically where?
The only thing that I remember from...
We talked to him in Savannah, and then
Right.
we heard about him as being a good friend of George's in Ethiopia. We also, I believe, heard about him being a student at UCLA when we met, what's his face? The LA people. So we've heard about him consistently, but the only time we've spoken to him is Savannah.
Yeah, and it was really just Ayers wanted to send back his well wishes, if I remember correctly. It wasn't a particularly specific
No, they were
message
just
back.
close is what we got. They were close is my notes say is that they were close.
They were close. They all invested a lot in him. So George Ayers and Echevarria tried to get him to apply for programs in the university. He was involved in the cult, and he did the sexual rituals.
Yeah, so it seemed to me like he was Henslow's counterpart, so not necessarily an in-charge person, but an important figure.
Just to put the timeline together for you guys, because you know all this. Edgar Job was at UCLA. That's how he met George Ayers, because he was a professor at UCLA prior to him going on, going out into the wilds of Ethiopia.
Okay.
Thank you. I knew he was in UCLA, but I couldn't remember specifics.
Okay, maybe I'm just reading too into it. Maybe.
No, but it is a name that keeps popping up, dude. You're not wrong about that.
Yeah. Can we get like one like Blades in the Dark? Like, oh poop, that was something that we probably would have asked for. Like,
we don't have anything about him though.
No, not with that specifically, but just in general.
items.
Just in general, we're like, oh yes, he's here now, so we have a vehicle through which things. It's
going to be a luck
arrived.
test later.
Okay,
right,
it'll be a luck test.
Okay, I love that.
It's not going to be an
trying to say
automatic
that-
like Blaze of Dark thing, but I'm saying like if maybe there's something later that you're like, oh, I wish we had this from Arkham, and I don't mean like I wish we had a gun on us. I meant like some of the stuff that you've amassed over the course of the year plus that we've been playing this. So that's what I mean.
Are we saying we wanted them to bring Job out here? Is that what we're getting at?
He just opens the second suitcase. There he is.
We've just emptied out Joy Grove. They're just all like in a truck up the mountain with us.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then we're going to close this scene down with you all having reunited with Cyrus, who's going to stay in Calcutta and be a resource, and he'll wait here for you all to return. But other than that, I'm going to open it up. Are there anything? So, Leela, let's check in with you. Is there anything that you would have been looking into or preparing for like this trek? And we don't need to get into the weeds of like how to get there. You would know. And so just like you would definitely know how to get there. But is there anything that you think you would have been doing in the city before launching this expedition?
Don't have to roleplay it out like you said, but the preparation would definitely involve getting cold weather gear and climbing gear for these 4 people. There would be a whatever maps she can get of the region, and specifically in addition to that, she wants to make sure there are big knives for each of them, because she has no idea what the trek is going to be like. But if they need knives, she wants to make sure that is available to them. So apart from the cold gear, like that is a specific thing she wants to get.
Yeah, I think all of that is totally fine. Yeah, no issues. Some stuff you might get here, and some stuff you might wait until a little bit further down the trek, because there might be other places to grab stuff. But yeah,
total sense. It's just very operational and utilitarian, preparing for the trek.
Gotcha. Okay, then I'll turn to the rest of you. Is there anything else that you want to do in Calcutta before you leave? This is your save point. So is there something more that you want to do before you leave? All right, so Melissa, you were asking about maps. You're trying to check to see if any of the maps of the region around Mount Kailash is here in like Calcutta is different from the one that you have in your possession that was recovered in Bangkok in Sira Khan's personal library.
Correct.
Okay. I don't think any. I mean, you can give me a library use row if you want to look to check it, but you do have you can access maps. It's not that's not an issue, but you can roll a library use if you want.
Okay. So I am going to while I'm looking that up, I'm actually going to do a little bit of a welcome. So welcome to Brotherhood of the Dice for the raid, and also we had a raid earlier from Infinite Monkey Tales. So thank you to both of you.
Well, thank you so much, Brother of the Dice. Thank you. Belated thank you to Infinite Monkey Tales. We're in the end. We're in the end game. We're maybe a couple episodes out from the finale of our year-plus long Eternal Lies campaign here. So it's getting a little dicey. All right, Marie.
So, I'm going to grab 2 audience dice so that I'm rolling under a 44 instead of a 24.
Despicable.
And I'm glad that I did, because I rolled a 32.
Okay. Couple things you know. First, any map that you find in Calcutta, whether it's from the lodge or from a university library or anything like that, none of them even remotely talk about ascension points. Like any place to actually go. Like it doesn't break down which side, north, south, east, west, would be the better face to climb. Not even a thought anywhere. In anything that you find, it has the surrounding area identified, and it like references like certain pilgrim paths and stuff like that. 2 locations very near the mountain itself that you would discover are a very small village that doesn't really appear on most maps, but is like kind of mentioned in the map that you've collected from Bangkok. It's called Darchen. And then in some of the places that you've been looking around, if you're kind of cross-referencing, there is a lake that is referenced that is relatively nearby. It's Lake Manasarovar. That is also a place of great reverence, in that it is some pilgrims' paths take them through there, some don't. It's not and that's not necessarily always going there, but those are other places that would kind of pop up. And in terms of the map that you found from Sirakan in Bangkok, it does seem to reference like a specific section at the summit of the mountain where it's believed to flex or crack open, and that is where the stars and the moon would shine down, and it references like a time of night or time of season. So that needs to be met in order for that crack to appear. That's about it.
Great. You see Marie being surprisingly studious and quiet and not talking to people.
All right. And was there any other last minute things that we were looking to do? Okay.
Nothing.
So, what'd you say, Stephen?
I didn't say anything.
Was it
Was it long?
Long
Sorry,
said
Guilty,
nothing.
but I said nothing.
Okay. Awesome.
To blame
Good
for everything
input.
around here.
Okay. So in the next few days, you all meet up with Leela. She has various things for you. You can see that she has like packs and things like that. You all are not bringing every little thing you have. That's just insane. But you're bringing what you need. And you know that it's still going to be a couple weeks before you actually make it to the mountain, as there are some treks. The first thing you have to do is in some of the easy travel. We see like as you all wait around a train platform, eventually boarding a train to Delhi, and we see it kind of pull out and it heads like west and north through this very vast and flat country that just sort of seems to go on forever. I mean, you see like rice paddies and canals and like grazing cattle, and we see some villages and such as you pass by and look out the window for about 2.5, maybe somewhere in the neighborhood of 2.5 to 3 days or so. You hit some stations along the way. It's not like you have to ever get off the train and find a place to stay. You're sleeping overnight within the train itself, and only having small moments in these stations with have these bursts of activity are you really able to kind of step off the train at any point. And after about 2 days or so, 2.5 days, you find yourselves in Delhi. And then from there, you kind of get a different route. And Leela is doing all of the connections for you. And she's kind of pointing this out. She's getting this ticket, that ticket. She goes over here. I know that many of you, the 4 of you, would probably have some language issues. The further you get away from Calcutta, it starts to be a little bit more spotty in terms of whether there's languages that would be as consistently available to you. The next main path is about a 12 to 16 hour, like again, overnight train ride from Delhi to Kathgodam. And the landscape, you can tell, is already starting to change, because you know that you're going up to the roof of the world, basically, eventually. And where you were coming from was much lower, obviously. But you can start to see, just in this train ride, just in that half a day to a day, that the flatness starts to wrinkle a bit and then lift. And then you start to see that fields are giving way to scrub and like low forest here and there. The nights are getting cooler, and the mornings are a little bit sharper. The train is like moving a little bit more slowly than you had seen it move before. Like it's struggling a little bit as it goes up. The stations are thinning. The sort of the distance between one and the next becomes longer, and crowds are quieter. And you start to see that people are staring at you a little bit longer as well. There is still a presence of the British, and you can see and recognize various uniforms. But the further and further away you get, the thinner and thinner and thinner it becomes. Eventually, in Cuthgadam, you get off. The rail basically ends. It's no real ceremony to it. And that's when Leela informs you all that there's no more train time. And it really becomes just a kind of a trek on vehicles, whatever you can get. Give me Leela, you can give me a test here. You can give me a luck test, or you can give me like a persuasion test or a credit rating test or something like that to see the quality of your of the travel that you're able to book for everybody.
If you're okay to take luck, I'll give you a luck test.
Sure, absolutely.
Success 76.
So you're able then to leave Cuthgadam on the way to a smaller and smaller the further away you get, to a place called Almora. And it's getting very hilly at this point. And you're able, because of Leela's wheeling and dealing, to get yourselves access to like a hired car, or more like a truck that with like a canvas covering in the back that takes you up these like rough roads here and there. You're passing by groupings of people with like various mules and yaks and things that kind of veer off to the side every now and then. You have to like wait a little bit longer than you probably want, but you're able to continue to ascend and to continue to head north. And it's getting slower and slower, especially as you hit these switchbacks that you're having to kind of constantly go back and forth, and you look off the side and you can see the same people that you just passed by not too long ago. You can see that there are villages that are clinging to various ridges along the way. You can see old temples that are just peering out, and much different than what you saw, Patrick, when you were moving about Calcutta. And eventually, after about 2 days of this, you find yourselves even further and further out and away. And you have no more real road to pay attention to. It's just paths at this point as you reach this sort of town of Almora. You can see rivers are cutting through, and there's these deep ravines now. And you find yourselves getting tireder and tireder with each ascent. The nights are actually cold now, not just cool. Whenever you move about, mixing in with locals, you're getting a lot of stares. No one, like, people are watching you. You stand out. You very much stand out. And it's at this point that you can kind of look and start to see on to the north. It's just getting higher and higher and higher. Give me another roll, Leela, for what you could potentially acquire here in Almora. You would know that you're going to Darchula next, which is kind of like in the foothills, sort of the Himalayas, so to speak.
Luck or credit rating?
Whatever you prefer. It's just some way for you to get.
I'll do luck if you're okay with it, just because it's higher right now.
Okay.
79 success.
Okay. You are able to gain without too much hassle. Maybe from just you know what to bring to barter and trade, and you're able to get access to a handful of horsebacks and mules and things, and some that you're able to ride for a little while, but some you're also pulling because you're stacking up what you need. And here's where maybe you start to get some of the other survival gear that you didn't have to purchase just right off the bat in Calcutta. But this is when it's starting to get difficult. And this is about a week now that you all are on foot or on horseback or a mix of the two, sometimes camping out near kind of kind of a local stop, like a local small village, maybe with a name, maybe without. Sometimes you're just out in the open and you're kind of camping off on the side with a fire going. If all of you could take it, give me a second. Like as you're traveling up to this pass that eventually you have to get to, I'm just kind of curious what is going through everyone's mind. You guys are literally climbing to the roof of the world to, as far as you understand it, summon one god to fight another. And you're going to cast all these spells and all this. So I'm just kind of curious. I'm going to start with I'm going to start with Patrick and Marie. The two of you are the last of the original crew. You have seen Pastor Wood die. You have seen Shima, you believe, dead. You have seen or heard that Carmelita has passed as well, and you've seen Bev go insane. So as we like kind of just watch this like travel montage of train to truck, now to like foot and horseback, as you're getting higher and higher up, you're kind of bundled up with various layers. What's like going through your minds? Like, what are you thinking about? What are you doing? Like, do you reflect back on the last 2 years or so? Which one of you wants to hop on that?
Yeah. Throughout the journey, I would reflect on the path that brought us here. So pretty much the start of it, the faces we've met, the names we've known. I would remember their faces, remember the events that took place, and then I would nip those in the bud. Just have a more blank mind going into this. We're about to climb this, so like the desires that come up, maybe I want some food, I want some warmth right now, I just want to be home sitting doing nothing. But then nip those desires away and focus on only moving forward, moving up in these harsh conditions.
So you just, every time one of those things is almost like an invasive thought, and you just try to like put some of the memories behind and just focus on the now and focus on what's in front of you?
Exactly.
Okay. What about you, Marie? Marie, you also, not only, did you, everything I already mentioned, but you know that your best friend, Nancy, you kind of got her involved in this. You've had 2 cats go disappearing on you now. But you're still here. You're a jazz singer, and you're climbing the freaking Himalayas to the top of the world to do this. Like, what's going through Marie's mind as this is happening?
Yeah, I would say that is similar to Patrick a little bit, that she definitely, there's so much time to, kind of think here, during the travel. And so it's cold. And so, her mind is going back and forth between, kind of these last, year plus, of everything that's been going on. But she's also kind of thinking back to, it's cold, there's snow, and she's thinking about like being a kid and growing up in Chicago and cold winters. And she's the youngest of 3 siblings. So, kind of like older brother, older sister, snow fights outside and those things. And, and it's almost coming back and forth between what makes her feel worse, kind of this just, childhood that, obviously she always wanted something different, something better, and realizing that was so comfortable and safe. And then coming back to just the worst moments of like being shot and, just, watching, everything that happened with Pastor Wood and watching Shima disappear and just all of these. And it's sort of this back and forth between just the gut-wrenching horror and the dreams. I mean, her dreams for the last, year plus, like literally since the first meeting with Janet Winston Rogers, immediately it's been awful dreams, awful nightmares, awful, just all of these things. And so this very discordant back and forth between kind of this idyllic childhood, kind of turn of the century, to just sort of this awfulness. And she's just kind of going back and forth between those two.
So we see you all like pass through this small ridgetop, mountaintop village, Darchula. You can see like the climb is getting more and more punishing. Any kind of skin that you have exposed when you stop for the night and you check on it is raw. Like your breath is shallower. It's more deliberate now. You can definitely feel the elevation hitting you. Snow crunching like underneath your foot here and there. It's more and more difficult to find paths, but Leela is capable. Sometimes you encounter other like traders or pilgrims kind of along the way. Some of them are quiet. Some of them are, are curious and they ask questions, but like you take the questions not so much as like accusations, but more just interest. And some of them, seeing you all, seeing your faces, seeing, the difference here is maybe standing out a bit. It's another week out of Darchula as you start moving up to like a noticeable pass, Lipulek. I'm doing my best. So if I'm off, I apologize. But it's Lipulek Pass, which is, that passing through it is going to take another 7 days, maybe 5 if the wind conditions are right. And that's going to take you all the way to like the Tibetan Plateau, basically to Burang. And so as we see you guys like moving through this day, night, morning, etc., let me turn for a second to the new people in the group. We've got Goldie. You have been in the group for, at this point, calendar-wise, a couple months, even though Goldie's only been with us for a handful of eps. You've known Cyrus since the two of you were fairly young, and it's not necessarily like him to suggest to get involved or caught up in anything so bizarre. You also know that Carmelita, who you didn't know very well, but you did meet her. She died in Malta, died for this. Frank Kearns, who you didn't know very well, but seemed friendly enough, died as well for this. These people seem to be taking this extraordinarily seriously. So, like, what's going through Goldie's mind throughout all of this travel? And, like, how are you handling it? How are you justifying it? Like, what are you thinking about? That kind of thing.
She's greatly concerned and frankly scared. It seems to be that there's too many things to just be considered coincidences happening that are putting roadblocks between us and these events and things that are moving forward. And she's hasn't had too much contact with Nectar, but from what she's seen and notes she's read, that has terrifying implications on top of the possibility of a god, like an eldritch god unleashing itself upon Earth. And so at this point, the thing that's fueling her to continue is Cyrus's belief in this. The fact that so many people have willingly sacrificed themselves, willingly or not so willingly, but like put themselves in danger for this event, for this crusade, you could say. And she just feels that this is serious enough that it needs to be done, and she's here to assist as much as she can. And in doing so, that's causing her to really cling to that book that Cyrus brought her, and she's just trying to do her best to do what she was brought on for, which is to research and potentially do the occult thing she does and cast a spell, hopefully, to assist us with escaping this god.
Yeah, I would say is once you started moving on foot, I don't really think study is something that you would be able to do consistently. Like maybe when you stop for the night, you could do some, but on the train, you probably be able to get a little bit of reading done. But it's certainly something that would probably take a little bit long. You can roll a library use test if you'd like to see how quickly this might take. Yeah,
because I'm not sure how much she's actually getting done, but I feel like she's using it more so as like a coping mechanism, if anything. So 60 under 70, that's just a regular success.
Yeah, you're getting some of the benefits, we'll say, of skimming. What you kind of glean from it is that it is a book that's kind of telling a story, a tale of someone who is not ever named. They're just sort of referred to as like faceless. And they live amidst the dying lights of the end of days. And it's apparently some kind of immortal person, somebody who has been thrice cursed with immortality, and it's like a story in some ways about how this creeping doom kind of overtook him, entered into his bones, and how his dreams started to get filled with this recurring image of this great and terrible eye which gazes down upon the world, and he eventually starts to get even more concerned when many of his friends and his acquaintances, his colleagues and such, have begun to share the same dreams. And then at a certain point, this gnawing eye, he identifies it as belonging to the dread amorphity of Azathoth. And it kind of manifests itself into this horrible gaze. It's turned upon the last burning days of the Twilight world, and the man, rather than just like sort of accepting the doom, right? He tries to escape. Like, he looks for a way out of this, and he apparently finds it seems, in the quote flesh of Yog-Sothoth, and which allowed him to create some kind of gate which took him to another world. But the gaze was kind of locked upon him. So even though, he was able to find this potential, this exit, this escape, the gaze was locked upon him, and through which, quote, barbs which bear the runes of Nyarlathotep. And the eye was essentially following him to the new world, and it kind of turned its destructive force on that world as well. And so it kind of tells the story of this man escaping using this gate, and then the eye pursuing him, then going to a new world and the eye pursuing him, and then one and after the other. And so he just kind of, so a lot of the inner parts of the book, this tale, like the stars are like kind of winking out because he just destroys, he dooms all these worlds by just hopping to them. And there's nights where he just sees this like haze of red, this unseen red that constantly pops up. But he just keeps running and running. And by the end of the story, he makes a decision to stop running, and he kind of throws himself like prostrate on the ground. And he finds that he has landed basically at the feet of the Herald, who reveals to him like this great truth that the world he has left in his wake, they've not been burdened by destruction. For as long as Azathoth's gaze is fixed upon the man, he will carry that destruction away with him and spare the worlds behind. So it's this kind of horrible story. All of these different worlds getting destroyed, and this man who kind of turns to this gibbering madness a bit. You're going to lose, 4 points of sanity for that.
Okay.
And roll a d4.
Just one.
You gain 1 occult skill.
Okay.
But much like Bev, you do get the sense that there's something more to this. There's something about the way in which the story goes into great depth, the sort of ritualistic detail of how he kind of created these gates, that you think is more than just a story. It's more than just a narrative, but something that can be potentially reproduced. The problem, of course, is that you don't have the full breadth of your library to help with cross-referencing and contextualizing. So I don't think you would be able to really pour over this and get the benefits of full study. But I think getting that first read is totally fair. I want to ask Leela, you're new to the group. Everything this India, Tibet, all these different cultures have to say about this place is don't go up it. It is sacred. Don't go up it. And they have slightly different reasoning for it. Obviously, we went over those last time. Why is Leela helping them? What's going through her mind? Is she's just like a boss, like someone who knows what they're doing? You find contact with this person, you find contact with that person, you find this truck, you find these groupings of mules and horses to help. Why is Leela doing this?
Leela is doing this out of a morbid curiosity to see this place that she is absolutely not supposed to go. But the closer they get to actually doing the climb, the more her unspoken anxiety sort of rises in her about the fact that it's forbidden for so many reasons, and it's the kind of thing that people don't even really talk about. Like, they just kind of go quiet and vague. So she doesn't even know what a forbidden path looks like. And the closer they get, her concern shifts from the actual trek to the people that she's with, because when they talk about this mountain and they talk about ascending it, they talk about it like it's this spiritual sort of abstract thing rather than a physical toll. Like, none of them seem to know how quickly cold will force your hand or altitude sickness kicks in, and they already breathe entirely too deeply, even at base camps. They laugh when they should be conserving air. They just don't understand the survival mechanism. So, like, she is, with each step, realizing that she is less of a guide, and she doesn't know what she is, but she has to be more than a guide, especially if at some point they have to make a decision to leave somebody behind. And she has no idea what she's walking into, but she can't turn back now. She won't turn back now.
So we see your group kind of move through this pass, and there's like a small moment where you kind of start to descend even a little bit into Tibet, and you see like the land kind of open up at a certain point. You get these wide, high, kind of merciless looking places. Color starts to fade. Everything's kind of stone and sky. There's like a grayness to it in some respects. Distances start to get fairly deceptive. You kind of can see things out on the distance, like a landmark, but then you can travel for hours, and then it's not necessarily like going to get any closer and closer. And as we're doing this, as we're like kind of moving down this pass, kind of getting closer and closer to like where you need to go, we're at last going to turn to Will. So Will, you
I was worried you forgot about me.
No, I didn't. I was purposely leaving you for the end.
Thanks,
got involved with this because somebody died and they needed a replacement. And you got pulled in from just bouncing around the world by Frank. Frank, who we know that the two of you did a job, kind of screwed over the Winston Pharmaceutical Company. He took the heat for it. You got off scot-free. You went into the French Foreign Legion. Things went bad. You got out. But Frank called you back in. You've also tasted nectar at this point. So, like, what's going through Will's mind? How's these days and weeks of travel been for him?
Will flat out refuses to ever think about his past or possible mistakes that he has committed, to the point that even when that thought comes up, he buries it immediately as this sort of subconscious like defense mechanism. And also in a slightly less reluctant to think about possible futures and consequences of what he's walking into. That's where a lot of his impulsiveness comes from. He's always seeking a distraction so those thoughts do not come up. The problem with this trip is that there are very few distractions. It's a lot of time just traveling and waiting. And normally, like when you're on the plane with Frank, you can like find something to do. Like you're prepared for it. You have a book or something. But this feels like the end. And like we've prepared for so long in Calcutta that there's nothing really else to prepare. So instead, he's just thinking about future distractions in this like weird way. He knows that he's got 2 vials of nectar. And at first he got extra just in case. And he brewed one of those potions just in case. He tasted it. I don't think Will is as scared of this nectar as he should be because he didn't necessarily see the results of it firsthand. Like he saw like the side of the Fight Club, but he was never actually in the pit. He didn't actually see the people who were like dealing with the worst of it. And because he succeeded on that power roll when he took it, I think he's like kind of playing down the effects that it can be. So in his mind, he's no longer thinking about just in case, but when would be the right time to do it again. When is going to be the chance that he gets to go after? And in a way, he's kind of like fixating on that nectar. And he's like planning out his next fix in a way. I think it's a bit early to say that he's like addicted. I don't know if he would be. Maybe he is. Maybe this is the early stage of addiction. But he is definitely thinking about those 2 vials that just keep clinking with every step that he takes. You know, every time they're in the truck and it like hits a speed bump and he hears just a little bit of glass clink and he just feels the weight in his pocket and he's just thinking about when's the best time to do that. Would it be worth doing on a night where they have a night to kill? Maybe he uses it then. Maybe if they know they're getting into a fight, he uses it for a little jump start there. And he's just running through all these scenarios over and over. And in a way, he's like very distracted during this trip. And anyone else might think that it's because of what's coming, but instead it's because of what he wants to partake in.
And as like we continue, we hear the clink and the clink. It's muffled somewhat, probably by the layers that you've been given by Leela, but you can still occasionally just hear it clinking around. We find yourselves, the group moving into a village of sorts, Burang, and human presence is thinned. There's a lot of pilgrims you start to see. Monks as well. Conversation is very limited. There's not much. You see other people, but they don't talk that often. The mountain is very clear and looming large on the horizon for you, and it's got this unnervingly precise shape to it, which I've mentioned that this is legitimate. Like it has these sides to it that looks perfectly sloped, almost pyramid-like, and you can see as you're lingering around in this sort of relatively sacred ground, and you see these different groups of pilgrims in their kind of multicolored robes. You see others that are tending to these yaks and these zos, which are like half cow, half yak, I think. And they got mules and ponies and such. There's no one here that has there's no motorized anything anywhere. You would know, Leela, that you have a choice to make. As you see, some of the pilgrims are preparing to head off to this lake, Manasorovar. And you know that is, in some cases, part from your research to Mount Kailash is like part of the process. Some go there. And I'll give this to you for free. I wouldn't even require you to roll for this. But you would know that it's a place that is like said to wash away, like, or purify, like it's like a purify sins kind of deal to it, like where people who plunge themselves into it can kind of find some sort of cleanse to it, and that's why many of these pilgrim groups head in that direction. So that's a path that they could take, and you obviously this is something for you to present to your people. And then you know that if they wanted a more direct route, they would go to Darshan, which is like the last, really, honestly, this small, cold village. Not to call it that is overstating it, right? And it is the last like inhabited place before the climb. It's a few hours away from where you would probably ascend the mountain. Either way, you're still looking at So, you're looking at probably 2 to 3 days to go straight to Darchen, and maybe upwards of a week if you were to make a detour and try to blend in with the pilgrims, go to the lake. So I'll leave that to you, and how you present it to the party. We'll say that you all are gathered up at some point. You're sitting, you're eating, you're resting, and yeah.
Okay. So while we're sitting around, Leela will say to them like, just over there is a lake that, and she'll describe Manasavara and the purification, and basically frame it as, I don't know the kind of rituals you are planning to do, but generally speaking, with pilgrimages, it would be helpful to be pure when you actually commit those rituals. On the other hand, if we want to skip that entirely, we can head straight up. If your priority is getting there sooner rather than later, and your effectiveness once we get there is something you will handle at that point, we can keep going. If we do that, either way, the last waypoint before it becomes pretty much just us is going to be passed. So the question is, do you want to go to the lake first?
Interesting question. I think we want to avoid people as much as possible. I think that's one of our goals. The fewer people that are around to ask us questions or see our paths deviate, probably
then we
the better.
should avoid the lake, because the lake is a pilgrimage destination. So there will most definitely be people at least going there, if not already there.
But the potential loss there is we could use perhaps some actual benefit from the lake, if
depending on if it, I don't know about rituals. I don't know if this will help. I just know that it is meaningful for people who believe in that kind of thing.
I mean, I don't know anything about being pure, but it would be fun to blow off some steam going for a swim in a lake. My brothers and I, we used to swim in the creek all the time. I wouldn't mind going. And secrecy, we're at the end of this road. And there's not much more we can do to keep everything under wraps.
Wait here. We should go to that lake. Have a look even. Maybe even dip ourselves.
Let's go swimming.
Would I, in my studies of Mount Kailash, have learned that this is also like a holy site? If it is a holy site?
I think that's fair. Or
just say
Leela told
that
you.
it was.
Yeah.
It's specifically a site for pilgrims to go to, and that's who we'll bump into on the way there. More than likely, if you want to avoid people, that is a holy destination that people go to.
Is this a odd time of year for people to go there, though? Or is it always kind of just cold?
The lake never freezes. That is actually, it's kind of an oddity. Never freezes. I think it's the highest freshwater lake.
Freshwater, it is.
Yeah,
it is.
There's actually another lake too, but we don't get into all that too.
The
but
Hindu mythology of that is that it's the thoughts of the creator who has made that lake.
Oh.
Yeah.
But why does it never freeze if it's fresh water?
Sorry?
Why does it never freeze if it's fresh water?
Because that's magical.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. That's why it's a fucking holy site.
I was in a polar bear club in high school where we'd go swimming in the winter.
Fucking freeze, but it doesn't.
Let's go swimming.
Okay.
So
where he's like, no, we need to be quiet, and we'll just keep saying, let's go swimming.
Well, and my understanding is that it is illegal to go further than that north. So us just going off path, we meet up with all these people, we have to tell them something, and then suddenly we are not part of the group when we go back down. Will certainly raise suspicion and could make our exit out of this country much more difficult, assuming that we survive the task ahead of us. So that is my concern, that we are both trying to get up and hopefully come back down and exit with our freedom in hand.
Final call. You guys cannot split
Will
the party
says, let's
here.
go swimming.
You either go or you don't go. And if you guys are split, then we leave it. Then it's going to be up to your guide to make the final decision. So it sounds like you guys are 2 and 2. Is that right?
Yeah, it sounds like
guys versus
Leela's-
girls.
Yeah, it always is.
Always.
So often in this campaign.
Classic. So yeah, it's up to Leela then to make the final call.
Leela's call, because she has no idea about the effectiveness of these rituals even, is to just keep going.
Okay. So Will, Patrick, you are overruled. You are
Leela just
outvoted.
doesn't like Will. That's all it is. She doesn't like
I think
Will,
it's
and
a-
because
I
Will
think
said,
for
let's go
good reason.
swimming, she said no. This is bullshit.
Not a very good first impression. Okay. So you guys see a contingent of pilgrims kind of peel off and go in one direction, the direction of the lake. You all, and you're not the only ones necessarily that, like, it's not like everyone absolutely goes to this, but it does seem like there's a large contingent. But you all decide instead to, after some discussion and pressure from Leela, to push and to move. And you find your way to Darchen, and it takes, again, about 2-3 days or so. And it's extraordinary. You're at a very, very high altitude now. You're like 15,000-ish feet or so. And it's, there's definitely snow, there's ice, there's, a lot of cold winds that are hitting you. And the whole time you're traveling, there is Mount Kailash, like right there. Like you can see it. It's peeking up. It's not hiding whatsoever. And it's just constantly looming. And you find yourselves in this very small, very cold village of sorts. And you can see that you are not alone when you arrive a few days from Boreng. There are others here that are, they're kind of going through their ritual cycles and such. You know that they circumambulate the mountain. They don't do what you all plan to do. No one speaks really casually. You don't see there's not like casual conversations that are happening. You see these little groups here and there talking. Fewer than what you saw back at Boreng. But there's still some. And all of it is being dominated by the mountain, which is about 2 hours north of you. And it is like perfect. It is kind of dark, but you can definitely see like the whites of snow on the peaks. And I think it's fair to say that at this point and in this proximity, at least the 4 of you, Leela, I'm not sure, but at least the 4 of you cannot probably help but think that underneath that, there is a god, a deity, something that is going to mean harm, has meant harm for all of you thus far, and continues to do so. So this is like your last staging ground. It's really nothing more than like this wind-scored like stopping place, right? There's maybe one or two permanent stone buildings that are standing here, and both are kind of being used here and there by pilgrims. There's a couple tents that have been surrounded. There's pack animals. There's some temp shelters. You can see prayer flags have been set up here and there, strung between these posts and these rocks and these different roof lines. And they're all like snapping and crackling constantly in this very thin air. And you arrive at dusk and it feels kind of crowded and almost purposeful. And then when you wake at dawn, same thing. But then very quickly as dawn breaks, like it empties out quite fast. No one really stays here. This isn't a place where anyone lives. There's sort of distant chanting that you can sometimes get on the wind. There's some bells occasionally. But this is what you see. So is there anything else that you all are looking to do? One thing I would remind you of is, from your knowledge of this place, that
anybody would stop you from doing what you're about to do. If anyone sees you trying to go up the mountain, they will attempt to stop you. This isn't a thing that people are just gonna be like, yeah, go ahead. So with that in mind, is there anything you guys are looking to do?
Maybe as we arrive the night before or early in the morning before it gets the light starts to come over the horizon, Will would call for a group meeting. And when everyone gets settled around, we're having whatever breakfast, he would start rambling. I read a book last year. I forget the name of it, some weird made-up word. It was about this wizard and a bunch of dwarves that went on this long journey to a mountain somewhere. And it was just an okay book. It was fine. But there was a point where like these dwarves were attacked by goblins and they were rescued by eagles. I know this doesn't make sense. The eagles carried them away, but they were going on this long, long journey to this mountain. And the eagles only carried them like, to the next forest. And the whole time I'm finishing this book, I'm wondering, why didn't the eagles carry them to the mountain? Like they could fly. They could literally fly. Why didn't they just... Anyways, I was reading a book, a different book, completely different book recently, and it has this spell that summons an eagle of sorts, all right? And I think this eagle could carry us up the mountain. I can only summon this eagle at night, but we should probably leave at night anyways because people don't want to see us leaving. But I could get an eagle to carry us up this mountain.
Mr. Sawyer, you are suggesting that you are going to be able to call an eagle that could...
Of sorts.
Carry all of us?
It might be one at a time. It might be... I don't know how big it is, but I think it could carry at least one. And, if we bind it to us, we give it a command to carry us, I think it could do it.
What exactly is the creature called?
It's another made-up word.
Okay, I know you believe it's a made-up word, but...
Well, all words are made up. I'm saying it's a very old language. It doesn't translate into anything in English.
Okay, try me.
What is it called? Maybe I've heard of it.
Bayaki, Biaki, who knows?
Jeff, has Leela heard
No.
of it?
Or...
No.
Okay.
Nah, it's cool. No.
Okay, none of us have heard of it?
No.
Shit, okay.
I think it translates directly to, like, Great Eagle.
What language is that?
I don't even
what
know.
language that is.
The book was Greek, but it was a word that was not even Greek. It's older than ancient Greek.
Huh.
What does it require? Can you even do this?
It's... Sorry,
I haven't performed the ritual yet, but I have studied it very thoroughly. I know I can do it.
This is dangerous. Spells have costs. Do you know what the cost of this spell is?
But there's a binding ritual in the spell. So the danger is covered with that like sub-ritual in there. I've got it all covered.
That's given that you could force it to bind to your will, if that your will is stronger.
That's what the spell does, is it binds it to what I command it to do.
You think the others here won't see this eagle?
Well, I can only cast the spell at night anyways. We go off, slip away, everyone comes back to camp.
So if this works the way that we hope it does, you are suggesting that instead of trekking up this path and concerning ourselves with being spotted, that were this to work, we
could be up in a single night.
The benefits of that are quite high. Though it could not work, it could attack us, we could be dropped, it could only do one of us, and then the rest of us would be stuck, thinking through the downsides.
Is it really that easy? A shortcut at the end of the road. We're already here.
I mean, it's not
the
end, but it gets us to the final door.
It's good to know that you have this, Mr. Sawyer, that it is available to us if needed.
It's reliable to scale up as a group because we can keep an eye on each other.
More reliable? You've been telling us this whole time how dangerous it is. You told us that we were laughing too much.
That's why we should operate as a group. That's why I think it's more reliable.
But if we could have an eagle carry us up this mountain, we don't have to worry about avalanches.
You just think it's an eagle, but it's that book you read.
It is a career through the upper.
Air?
You don't know if it has wings.
Upper air.
How do you know if it has wings? Maybe it's
like in the spell. We've translated it.
Okay.
So
it's a spell to open the sky. That's the sky, and I point towards the mountain.
That's
that's a different one.
To sound less appealing.
Will is just confusing his spells at this point.
The more you talk about
I think this is excellent to know that we have this at our disposal, and if we find ourselves perhaps injured or something and unable for our feet to carry us the rest of the way, this is an excellent thing to know that we have available to us.
Might be too late at that point.
Fair point.
If you guys want to trudge up that mountain, we can do it. But I'm telling you, this is the easy way.
I am here to help you get up the mountain.
Mr. Price, do you think this is something that we should use now?
If he's adamant on it, you should give it a try. I'm willing to trust everything we put together on Will Sawyer here.
I would much rather at least see the spell myself first. This is what you brought me on for, is to be your occult, contact.
Do you read ancient Greek?
But you've had it translated, yes?
Yeah, but I memorized the translation. I know the spell.
You didn't bring the translation with you?
I've got it all.
So Goldie just kind of turns to Marie and Patrick, because you guys have been in the game much longer than she has. I wouldn't recommend potentially just casting a random spell without having the chance to have gone over it myself.
I've studied it, I've practiced it.
But especially one where it allegedly is trying to bind something else, that sounds to me like there will be conflict in that this other creature will have, to defend itself, and who knows how much stronger than us that creature is. And we're this close to the finish line.
Yes, I do think in many things you kind of think through the decision in terms of what decision can you make now that allows you to have other decisions later. And we know that this is here. The two of you can look at it more closely. Goldie, you and I can discuss further the other spell, that ritual that we are aware of. And if we need it, we can do it. But I'm just concerned about doing it now.
You, Will, and Patrick are the only ones who know the spell to essentially summon the other god to fight it. So you three need to be able to make it to the top of the mountain alive to cast it. I don't know the spell. I can't do the spell for you. I know originally you were depending on Bev to complete it, and she is what she is.
Right, she's a bit unwell now.
A bit is an understatement, but at least if Cyrus is to be believed.
He is. Of course. Of course he is.
We should focus on finding a way up, undetected.
Okay.
See how many people are here, if there's anyone on the lookout.
Let us do that.
We should do some
we go
observation
the old-fashioned
first.
way. We go on a pilgrimage. We leave this. It's morning, we said, right? So we leave. We do a walk around. We pray. We, go through the motions of pilgrimage. We come back to base camp. At night is when we make our true ascent. I mean, Leela, you're the mountaineer. You should know we need to find the best approach, right?
Yes. If that's what we're deciding to do, then yes.
I'm just waiting for Will to sneak away and do the spell anyways.
I would never.
You guys are under no obligation to leave at dawn. We're playing very loose with time in terms of days and starting. So if there's no reason you couldn't stay around longer and leave at night, leave during the night, leave in the morning. Like all of that is on the table. You just have to say that's what you want to do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I definitely agree that
we're
moving at night.
Trying to ascend without people seeing us on the slopes.
Agreed.
Not seeing us. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why at night.
So we just keep going through the motions of being on a pilgrimage till then.
Okay.
We'll leave tonight.
Okay. Are you looking to leave like this Darchen area unobserved? Like you're trying to like sneak off?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
I need the person with the lowest stealth tests to do so. Who has the lowest stealth skill?
Marie's
I have-
got 42.
I have 40.
I also have 40.
I'm also 40.
I'm
Patrick?
77.
Nice.
Yeah, we knew Patrick was the most.
All right,
He
Leela,
hasn't
you're our
been here this whole
guide
time.
with the most luck.
You've been talking to a yak.
Yakety,
Do you want
yakety,
me
yak.
to do it? Do you want one of you guys to do it?
If we're all 40, I know you've got a pretty high amount of luck.
I've got a good chunk
Goldie
of luck.
might too, I don't know.
Yeah, I've got a good bit. I say
I've got nothing.
our guide. Maitreyi hit it.
Okay.
I roll like shit. We should all
I know you
remember
don't-
that.
I
I
will
believe
forever
in
hold
you,
it against
girl.
you.
You've got luck.
We shouldn't, because I rolled a 70 over 40.
How much luck you
spend
got?
the luck. I'll spend the luck.
Okay. You wait until night, and you wait until those who are, again, at dusk and dawn seems to be when this little post is busiest, and so you wait until nighttime. And you wait until you start to see the pilgrims that are here and waiting to continue their trek find their way into a tent or into like one of those stone standing buildings, and you slip away. And as best as you can tell, it does not appear as though you were followed. You keep looking over your shoulder, and you don't see anyone following you. You're not certain who lies ahead. You're not certain if there's anyone camping out in the wild. That you don't know. But at the very least, the pilgrims from this small post are not there. It takes about 2 hours or so to kind of get to the base of the mountain from which you might attempt to climb. And we're going to get a little mechanical here. And Leela, you're our guide. So there's going to be some, so let me just explain to you how this is going to work. I'm sorry to bog this down into mechanics, but this will be important. So you're going to be able to roll a test here. Well, actually, it doesn't necessarily have to be you. Let me just walk out how this works, but I think it makes most sense for it to be you. You are going to designate somebody to effectively lead the trek, right? And that also means to decide upon a route that you want to take. There's not just one way up. There's not a path, as we've all talked about this. There's no reins to follow. There's nothing that you can potentially do. So this is purely like the first time just breaching the mountain and climbing up it. and it is nighttime, and it is very difficult to see, and it is extremely cold. So the person who's going to try to like sort of assess the routes going up, you're going to be able to make a roll here in a second, and then based upon the result of that roll, you're going to kind of be able to pick a route up. So it's going to be a navigate roll. I'm just going to let you guys know this now. It's going to be a navigate roll, and it's going to be in how the degree of success is important. The success, failure, fumble, etc. All of that's kind of important. So as you guys proceed away in this frigid cold, and you're trying to, in the darkness, find a way up, whoever's going to make the test is going to do so with a penalty die because you're doing this at night. So It's up to you all. Decide who wants to make that roll.
I have a pretty high navigate, so I'd like to volunteer doing it because I think even with the penalty, it's 80.
Yeah, I'm 60.
Yeah, 30.
Only 10.
I have 10. I do not want to roll.
So will it see the you or me, buddy?
Go ahead. It's all you.
Okay.
Just don't F it up.
I'm going to F it up. I haven't rolled below 70 this entire session.
You will. You will. I have faith.
That one of us should. It's not me.
If you get us lost, Will is immediately summoning a demon.
That's true.
Was that with the penalty die?
Penalty die.
Bitch.
Penalty die.
You need a
because
penalty
it's
die still.
nighttime, because you guys decided to come at night. Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, okay. Sorry.
So just roll one more 10s dice.
I'll just re-roll if you don't mind.
Fingers crossed. Let's take the 2 as the second number.
38 this time when I rolled
Okay.
penalty.
So
Is
still
that a hard
hard.
success?
That is,
Yes.
but I'll take it to extreme if that'll give me more.
The degree of success will matter. It's entirely up to you whether you want to spend it. You have an 80.
I will.
Okay, so that means you need to get it down to a 16.
And yep, that's fine.
Okay.
Ooh.
Burning 52
All right,
luck this
good.
session.
And you haven't even gone up the mountain yet.
No.
It's the Eldritch God. Yes.
But we know where it is.
Well, and we
Okay.
can't do the thing if we don't get there. So
Okay.
Yeah, you can just summon the Byaki to fight the god when we're there. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll summon it and give the command kill Eagle a knock.
Exactly. You can
I'm going to
find
summon
it,
this
right?
cockroach
You're
to kill this
confident.
great white shark.
right. Right.
Okay, so what you then get to do as a way to kind of describe the route you're taking is you get to allocate 60 percentage points to 3 different aspects of the route that you want to look for. And so there's essentially these route skills that are attributed to the route that you're going to take. Fast, safe, and stealthy, which mean what they think they mean and might impact things that might occur as you start to climb. And so you have 60% to allocate. However you see fit, you guys can talk it out. So obviously, if you put more in fast, that means if rolls or tests pop up where fast is going to come into play, that's useful, but then safety and stealth will also come into play depending upon what you guys try to do. So,
Yeah.
what do you think?
My recommendation at the early stage is stealthy.
There's no
because
changing.
we're-
This is the
Oh,
one
I
route that
see.
you're only ever
I
going to
see.
get. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. In that case,
I mean, if we forego a lot in stealth, would it really matter if people know we're on the mountain? They're gonna chase after us. Like we can just let it go.
I don't think it's the chase after so much as like waiting for us if and when we get back, and that was Murray's concern.
There is
earlier.
no way to ascend the mountain without the potential for being seen by pilgrim groups that are circumambulating it. At a certain point, you're going to become so high up that it's not going to matter. But this, you would know just by assessing this, it's going to take like 2 days to climb the mountain. And so for like the first day, you're probably going to be visible to some degree. if you take certain types of routes. So the idea being like, are you taking a route where there's more nooks and crannies for you to hide, or are you taking a route that's flatter and maybe faster, or are you taking a route that's maybe safer? And I want to stress to you guys, I've mentioned this to you multiple times. We're in the end game. You're climbing a mountain that's not supposed to be climbed. If any of you don't make it, you're not like, there's no time to do a new PC. So like, just keep that in mind as you allocate your percentage points.
That's why I'm putting it out there. Like, do you really care if people find out we're up this when we're going to summon Ultra's gods?
My instinct is fast. But I always pick speed over stealth. Like,
a safe was an option too.
Yeah, like, we can just do half safe, half fast. Or even more unsafe.
We can't do half and half, he said. We got to choose one of the three. We're choosing safe,
No.
stealthy,
I'm sorry. I didn't explain it well. You have 60%. You have 60 percentage points to allocate to those three skills: fast, safe, and stealthy. However you want to divvy it up. If you want to put 60 in all of one, that's fine. If you want to split it up evenly, 20-20-20. If you want to mix it up in some other combo, that's fine too. It's up to you. Like I said, I'm sorry to bog it down in mechanics, but that is like functionally how this works. Yeah.
Okay.
Understanding that, then I do agree with Long that I think like a 50-50 between safe
20,
and fast.
20.
Well, like I'm not concerned about people seeing us as well, because they're going to have to like journey up the mountain to come get us, to stop us. We should have a head start. I've got a Tommy gun to scare them away.
That makes sense. So 30 in fast, 30 in safety, is that what you guys suggest?
That was my suggestion, yes. I don't know if you guys agree or have a different
I concur.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, because I feel like I think stealth and safe are the top priorities. But I don't think there's the huge difference in 0% stealth and 10% stealth. So, Ashley, what are your thoughts?
I was kind of thinking the same way as you, but I can see the point of making sure that we just quickly get up there to get things moving.
I don't know, fast for me is like, we've been at this for over a year, so taking
2 years.
Right, so like
taking an extra day.
Yeah, like fast to me isn't a priority. Like safe is a priority.
Right. Like safe is the number one, and then
safe,
if you really wanted stealth, we can chip off of fast and put some in there if you really wanted.
But fast would mean that the people who might try to stop us can't reach us as quickly, potentially, based on how we roll and stuff. Like we get to stay ahead of them.
I myself was thinking 25 safe, 25 stealth, 10 fast. But like that was my initial thought.
All right, so Ashley is advocating for at least some stealth. Does anyone else advocate for stealth?
I'd forgo it, personally.
I think I would forgo as well. Melissa, Maitreyi?
I'm 30-30 fast and safe.
Okay,
so it sounds like 3 to...
Yeah, I think the majority is to not really put a whole lot to stealth.
Okay.
All right, so 3 of us are saying 30-30 for fast and safe. That good with everyone else?
Is that a good number, or would you rather
final
adjust
argument?
it a bit?
Like, what do we think of Ashley's 25, 25, 10?
Well, she was saying 25
or
and safe.
30, 20, 10. 30 fast, 20, or 30 safe, 20 fast, and stealth.
I'm okay with that.
So 30, 20, 10.
Okay.
All right, just want to verify. 30 in fast, 20 in safe, 10 in stealth.
Yes.
I thought it was safe. I thought the most was going to safe.
That's what I thought too.
Okay.
Yeah, 30 fast.
Sorry,
that one doesn't
Jeff.
matter to me.
20
Sorry,
fast,
Jeff.
20 fast, 30 safe, 10 stealth.
Yes.
Okay, but what if we did this? What if... I'm sorry, I just
What if we summoned? I'm ready to
A
go.
great
I got my
eagle
books ready to
to
go.
take
If you want to do it,
to Mordor.
let's do it. If you want to do it, I'm ready. I'm prepared. Okay.
I'm just soft launching our next One Ring campaign. That's all I'm doing.
I do like the allegory.
I told you,
that she's
ain't no
out there.
campaign after this one. I'm done. I quit. All right. Sorry. Spoiler alert, everybody. Okay. So then my next question to you is are you going to try to begin your summit at night? Leela, you would know this is extremely dangerous to do such a thing, but you can if you want. It's up to you.
If we have decided that stealth is not as important, then later will recommend going during the day. But if that continues to be a priority, and it sounds like it is for a couple people, then we can go at night, is what Leela is saying to the group.
Well, I
as
think
long as we get a head start,
is-
the stealth doesn't matter.
mechanically, if we said that our top priority is safety, it seems like climbing at night is not safe.
No, it's not. It's far,
Which helps us
far
going at
less
night
safe.
because we have high safety.
No, we have high stealth at
I
night.
see what you're saying. I
We
see.
have high
Well,
stealth
the
at
safety
night.
balances out the
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what Long's saying. I do think the head start's important because there are potentially people who are going to chase us to prevent us from going up the mountain. So having
Okay,
a head start by going
So
at night.
Starting at night.
I just want to point out to you guys, you don't have a head start. All it is you're going at night. I told you, like, your stealth roll got you out of the village. It didn't mean, like, and I said specifically that there are other pilgrims that are at different spaces on the circumambulation of the mountain. So people have the potential to see you, whether it's daytime or nighttime, because you're climbing up a mountain, and you're not going to do it without like lanterns and stuff like that. Like, you're not going to do it with no light. So you're going to be climbing up a mountain at night. If people look at you and they see you, they're going to see you. So it's not like you have a head start. It's just you made it out of the village without being seen, and you got here without being seen. That's all.
In
Okay,
that
yeah, who
case,
cares
then
about
I
going at
think the comment is more we're not gonna get any real measurable benefit by going at night. It's just going to be significantly more dangerous. We should just leave now.
Everyone in
Okay.
All right
agreement?
then. Sounds good.
If we have people that we need to talk to, there's several people here that are good to talk to people, apparently.
Oh no, definitely don't want to talk to anybody.
No, but you might have to.
Okay, so we're
we're
going to
leaving in the
begin the
daytime.
ascent at night. Oh no,
Can
we're beginning it.
I ask
going
one
up
question?
in the daytime. I'm getting like mixed signals. Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
Yeah.
The night before, Wilt did some stargazing. Did he see a star called Aldebaran?
Yes, you. Do you have astronomy? Okay. Goldie does.
Okay, so I kicked Goldie awake one night while we're here.
Okay.
Hey, do you see Aldebaran?
Do you want me to roll, Jeff?
You can roll astronomy, sure.
Sorry, I'm going backwards.
That's fine.
Regular success, 64 under 70.
You would be able to kind of point out I think it's Taurus. It's part of the Taurus constellation, and so you would be able to point it out to him. And it's particularly bright between October and March.
Yeah, so she kind of groggily tells you that.
Okay, thanks. Sorry to wake you.
Okay.
And then we leave
So-
first thing in the morning.
Okay, so then do you guys? Well, no, you guys left Darchen and you got to the base of the foothills. It is nighttime. You scouted out a route. You can leave now while it's still dark. You can wait until dawn and begin your ascent. One of those two. So, are you waiting until dawn and there's light for your ascent? And I will just tell you basically, like, when certain rolls are made and it's dark, I'm just going to call for penalties. That penalty dice. That's all it is. And then if you're climbing like at dawn, then the rolls will be straight. So
So if we're waiting till dawn to start climbing.
all right. So dawn will rise. You'll see a beautiful sunset or sunrise. Excuse me. You definitely know that it's brighter. You've picked a route that you think can get you quickly and safely up, but at the same time, there are spots, particularly within the first day, where you might be more visibly seen. And so you guys begin your ascent. I need the person with the lowest stealth test to make a stealth roll. modified by the route's stealth skill. So you're going to get a +10 to this from the route. No, at this point, I'm not going to let you do any audience dice for this. This is based upon your investments, so you're going to have to live with your choices or die, and make that roll.
I
already went,
with
so
Goldie.
it'll be either Goldie or Will.
Yeah, I think it'll be my turn this time.
Probably got more luck than I do.
So I have 40, so 65 is what we're shooting for.
Okay, easy.
We didn't do 25 stealth. We did 10 stealth.
Yeah,
10
you roll,
stealth.
it's a 50-50.
You're looking for a
Oh,
50.
sorry. I read that wrong. Yes. And I rolled a
Cheating
35.
up into the end. Okay, so you all get up early.
I'll spend 15 just to
There's
get
no
a...
benefit to doing so.
Okay.
There's no benefit. Yeah. A success is all you needed. Okay. So you all begin your ascent. You have your climbing gear on. Each of you probably has various packs and tools. You are not bringing any animals that you might have had. You've left them back at Darchen. They will be cared for by some other group. And you're climbing all on your own at this point, and you begin your ascent. The first day is probably something that most of you are not used to, with the exception of Leela, maybe Will. You may have done some climbing at some point, but it is a strange climb, because at first it's just the wind that hits you, and it's the snow and it's the ice, and like as you place like your hands down and you like drive in spikes to kind of tie off lines and begin climbing up. Like at first it feels just like a normal climb, but at a certain point, something starts to kind of weigh on you. Like each stab, like each crunch, like each step you take, like despite the fact that the sun is out, like there's like a darkness that seems to sort of weigh down on you all. I need each of you to make a climb check. You're going to be doing a lot of this, and you gain a bonus equal to the safe skill, which was 30. So anyone who rolls gets a +30 to this.
All right, rolling 50-50.
Thank God.
Wait, we all roll, right?
Every single person
Yeah.
rolls the climb.
Is there a benefit to a hard?
No, not in this case.
Okay, 32 under 50.
Excellent. That's a pass.
4 under 80.
Excellent.
Ooh, show off.
Nice.
I failed
Goldie,
by 10,
how
but
did-
I'll spend 10 luck.
You failed. Okay. You're gonna
I
spend
rolled-
10 luck to pass. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead, Goldie.
7.
7 pass for Goldie.
Nice.
And Leela, how'd you do?
I passed with the +30.
Okay. So the first few hours of the climb are a little nerve-wracking, because you are climbing up a relatively flat face for a mountain, a relatively flat face. And in the one hand, that makes it quite fast, and you're able to move with some speed. But a few times, like, you start hearing the sounds of like whispers or voices, and once or twice it seems like it's coming out of a seam or crevice in the rock as you reach and grab. But then you realize it's not. It's coming from below. And when you turn and you look as best you can down the slope that you've already started to climb, you can see a group of pilgrims, brightly colored. They haven't noticed you currently, but they are moving along. You can kind of hear their voices are somehow just getting this swell up the mountain. And maybe each of you freeze, not literally freeze, but you just stop moving for a second. You try to blend in as best you can with the kind of the grays and the whites. You have your gear on, and sometimes when the light hits bits of metal, there's like a little shine of reflection that maybe causes a heart to skip a beat. But then after maybe about 30 minutes or so, you see the pilgrims and their voices just continue to pass by, and they don't seem to notice you. You take a breath in, you kind of peek down the ridge, and you don't see like anything else coming for a while, and you're able to continue your ascent. The climb itself gets more difficult with every hour.
Your fingers get number and number. Your toes get number and number. Some of you are probably going to lose a few of those by the time if you survive this. Once or twice throughout the day, you probably find, as best you can, a little nook or a ridge or a ledge where you can stop, eat, get your refreshments, whatever it might be. But the whole time, like, you probably hear Leela, like, giving you instruction, calling this out. Don't take too big of steps. Don't breathe too deeply. Don't do this. Don't do that. And before you realize it, the sun is going down. And as it does so, like, you hear, like, those whispers and voices again. And you look around, and in the tail light of the sunset, you see... Well, you can't really see as easily down to the ground any further. You can't tell if there are people looking up at you. You put your heads against the mountains themselves. You see the sliver, the cracks between the rock, and this time you think the voices actually might be coming from there, but maybe it's just the wind. You can't see in the light in the distance whether or not there's like a secondary, like, pilgrim group that seems to be moving past, but you kind of almost start to hear them coming through the cracks themselves. A few times, like, when you maybe get some light out to try to help you, maybe like a small little flicker of fire, you kind of huddle around it. When you look at each other, you all notice that there are 5 of you. You all notice that Marie looks a little strange. You can see, like, Marie's what, mid-30s or so? Is that right?
Yeah, I think she just turned, I think, in game 38.
You see as her red hair kind of falls down from where maybe it's been hidden through some sort of, warming hat. As it falls, you see that it kind of seems almost straw-like. It's not wet and damp, you would think, but instead, as it falls, it has these kind of grayish patterns in it. And you can see these big, heavy streaks of gray and white. And all of you looking at her, in addition to her face just being kind of windswept, or excuse me, like windblown, and like lips chapped, you can see that there's like these wrinkles that have started to grow, like crow's feet have started to dig deeply into her, the sides of her eyes. And as you're looking around as well, you notice that Goldie, anyone looking at Goldie, you can kind of see, like, Goldie, you're having like these sort of strange kind of pains, like not just pure exhaustion, but you just feel these like these body aches begin to descend upon you in some ways, and you're not exactly sure where they're coming from. It's like there's the exhaustion itself, but you're feeling pain in places that kind of don't really make any sense, almost like it's an internal sort of feeling. And then all of you are alarmed by the sudden sound as you're sitting here eating, resting, preparing to sleep, by the sounds of as the sounds of, like, the voice of Patrick's mouth on his wrist begin to grow loud. And they're muffled, but for those of you that have traveled with Patrick and have seen it, it's unmistakable. You know exactly what this is. Leela, this would be your first, right? Like he didn't show it to you in the restaurant or in the pub, I don't think. So this would probably be the first time you've seen it. No. And so all of this is happening all at the same time. You're noticing, like, the signs of age on Marie. You're feeling age, Goldie. And then Patrick's mouth begins to kind of gnarl and gnash and kind of twist and turn, and you can feel it moving. It's very animated, Patrick, more so than you've remembered at other points of time.
Leela immediately sort of scrambles back and then looks around for the source of the noise and zeroes in on back. What is that? Is that you?
It's an affliction. It's being a bit unrest.
What?
It's best you not say it.
He's been touched by the god that we're going to kill.
Show me. You have to show me.
Alright, but I warned you. And I'll show her.
Roll sand test, Leela.
Oh no. Oh no.
You guys are on the slope of a mountain at night.
Uh-oh.
Fails the sand, stumbles back, falls
Right.
off a cliff.
Right?
That is on the table.
Yeah.
Success. 40.
Okay. Take a point of sand, loss. You're first, Leela. Congratulations. As
Yay.
you see on his arm, a mouth that looks somewhat human-like, but its teeth are sharpened, almost fangs. You can see a tongue gnarling out from within. Like, it doesn't make sense, the anatomy of it all. And smothered around it is this like glistening orange, almost like kind of almost orangey goo that seems to have amassed. And Patrick, when you look at it, you notice that the skin around where your hand usually rests it's been damaged. It's been like, you're not sure if it was just the motion of moving and having so many layers, whether you felt it or not. But you can see that there's long chunks of skin missing, as if something's kind of cut and worn them down. And you realize you don't really have like a lot of feeling in that hand. It feels very numb to you.
Leela is panicking, then she kind of looks around, and I think this is when she sees Marie's face. Miss Wynn!
Yes, it's okay. It's not okay. It's horrible that
No,
he
your
has this.
face! Your hair! Your face!
What I know I'm cold. I'm sure it's bright red, but
And pulls out the her compass and wipes the back of it, which is mirrored, and shows you your face.
and Marie kind of oh my word. Never mind that. More important things to worry about. But yes, Mr. Price has had to work.
Your hair's falling out.
I can't do anything about that right now. He has this mouth. Depending on, usually he does lots of meditation, and that helps to keep it quiet. But perhaps this is a sign that we are close to our destination, Patrick. Perhaps if it's awoken again.
Being this close, yes. Must feel something.
This is
Looks over at Will and Gold. Has this happened before?
The hand thing or the hair thing?
Both.
Yes and no.
Which one's happened before?
The hand thing.
It used to be like this all the time, and it was quite, especially when we were in villages and whatnot. It was quite distracting. But the meditation calms it and quiets it.
Hell.
Leela, I know you haven't seen the things we've seen. I was telling you we're going to kill a god, and I was not lying. This is not the worst you will see by the end of this journey. I understand it's terrifying, but just use this as a warning that it's going to get much worse.
You have a mouth on your hand.
Just be careful not to get too close.
Do you
It
have
will
to
bite you.
Do you have to feed it?
No, it's best not to.
The opposite, in fact. Patrick's been starving himself of things that are desirous, alcohol and things like that, and that helps to quiet it.
I thought you were just preparing for their journey.
We think that his hand is it has some sort of metaphysical connection to the god. So likely the closer we are getting to this point, the more it will wake up.
You have to keep it muffled as much as you can. I have no idea what can cause an avalanche around here. I don't know
As you say
what
that,
sound will do.
the mouth gets all gnarled, like it starts lashing again, and the mountain shakes. And you hear the sounds of something dislodging above and just begins to trickle and fall. Everyone here roll a dodge test.
Oh gosh.
Plus our safety modifier?
Yeah.
Oh, thank
You're welcome,
goodness.
you all.
What's the safety
Plus 30.
modifier?
30.
30.
Plus 30.
65. Rolling under 65.
Thank
74
Oh.
under 86.
Okay. Anyone fail?
I'm spending to pass.
Everyone
Also
else
spending to
passed
pass.
Okay. So a tumbling of rock and ice and snow starts falling down. And you're all able, because of the route you took, to find a little crevice to sort of pin yourselves against. Maybe there's a lip overhead as well that's helping you, and you can just hold on here and there. And then after a moment, the trembling stops. Everything kind of falling seems to also stop. Maybe there's a last few trickles of a rock here, a bit of snow there, but it doesn't seem that it's thrown you from the side of the mountain itself. You wait a few minutes, quiets down again.
Oh my
What do you
word.
guys do?
That just, oh.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Well, we just need to be as safe as we possibly can. We've come a long way.
I don't even know if that was because of the sound or if it was because it's waking up.
I'm not
Do you think it can sense
Of course
part
it
of
can.
it getting closer?
It's a water.
It's not even that. It's been watching you guys this entire time, hasn't it?
It has been. The best I can do is focus. I'll keep it laid for now.
Nothing we can do but keep moving forward. Can't turn back now. The sooner
Leela,
we
we've-
get there, the sooner it's done.
We've been so dedicated to this. One of our party members also had been with Patrick and got one of those on her, and she had it amputated to try to keep all of us safe.
Marie, I don't think we should amputate Patrick's arm on the side of a mountain.
No, that was not. I was just letting Miss Mizra know that we are quite serious about trying to get to our goal.
I don't think we need to be putting the thoughts into people we hardly know that we could amputate Patrick's arm either.
And Marie really is too bundled up, but she has amber earrings that she is obviously not wearing, but are like got left somewhere. And she had started at different parts of the campaign sort of fiddling with those earrings when she was thinking about Shaima. And so at this point it's just more of like a mental thing where she's like imagining that she's fiddling with it because obviously they're not around her. But as she's sort of thinking of Shaima and kind of that initial sacrifice and the later sacrifice, she's just sort of 1,000-yard stare, kind of in her mind. She's just kind of rubbing the amber earrings.
Leela, it's also important to know that yes, someone amputated their arm to get rid of that mouth, but there was also no proof that the mouth wouldn't come back. In fact, some people said that it does come back even after an amputation. So it's not a cure.
Why are
It
we
can only
talking
be-
about this?
I don't know. I'm not looking for any kind of convincing right now. I just need the mouth to be quiet now that we know that it's a factor.
Oh, God, I just... and
I didn't even know this was something we had to pay attention to until 30 seconds ago.
We don't. He's going to keep it under wraps. We're going to keep moving. It's not the time to fall apart. We're only just barely up this mountain, y'all.
It's nighttime now, correct? So are we continuing to travel at night, or
No,
do we bunker
should
up?
Conserve our strength so that we can make good headway in the morning.
I just feel like the less time we spend on this mountain.
That is true, but you are not seasoned climbers.
Do we
This
see
mountain
any
will
lights?
claim you
I'm not advocating to
much
climb at night.
easier than it, I don't even know.
Do we see any lights gathering near the bottom of the mountain or up the slope that we came from or anything like that? Any
No
sign of
lights.
someone following?
The only light that you can see is the tiny little one that you have in this little nook that you have all crammed together to take some small comfort in for the night. It's otherwise extraordinarily dark. It's a little cloudy overhead, but you can still see some stars coming through. But otherwise, it is cold, it is dark, the wind is hitting you. Because you put 30 in safety, I'll say the wind is somewhat cut by wherever it is that you found yourselves nestled against. But yeah, it's miserable. And what we'll say is, as you guys kind of talk and squabble a bit, the cold seeping in, Goldie, strange pains, Marie, hair turning prematurely gray, Patrick, your mouth getting very antsy. We like kind of fade back away from where you're hiding along the slope. We hear the sounds of the mouth on your wrist continue to over and over. We hear a small little rumble again of the mountain. But we're going to end there. We'll pick up tomorrow. We'll see if you can get to the summit. Or pick up on our next session, I should say, not tomorrow. But we'll pick up on it. You will pick up in the story tomorrow. And we'll see if you guys can make it to the top. I was hoping to get us to the summit today, but internet issues have delayed us, unfortunately. Sorry. So,
Will's
but
getting
yeah.
to the summit.
But
Just
it was
throwing that
so
out there.
good.
He might be carried to the summit alone, but he is getting to the summit.
Unless you fall.
So
There are many
In which
things
case
that
he'll
can
be
make you
caught
fall.
by an eagle.
There are no eagles here. Oh my god. That
Will has
argument
a
is
moth
so
that he's
dumb.
kept in a cage and he's whispering
Why
to
don't
it,
we
ready to
just
release
follow
it.
the eagles? See, maybe the eagles didn't want to. Maybe the eagles says no. Maybe the eagles are like, hey.
Did the
'cause,
eagles
like,
have a binding sub-ritual when they were summoned? Gandalf didn't know his shit. Will is
it's a
real
ritual.
wizard.
But there's
Will
a
the wizard.
difference. He has a much higher POW stat than you do. That needs to be rolled
I have
to
50
make the
POW.
check. That's not very good.
the Gandalf
quite
only has
low.
50
It's
pounds.
fantastic.
That's one of the lowest you could possibly get with the pulp. I think that isn't that the lowest you can get with the pulp stat array attribute array?
40.
is
40.
the
There's a
lowest
40.
one.
That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
second lowest.
It's almost
not a
a
dump stat,
dump
though.
stat. Almost.
Oh my god. Hey, if you want to summon Dibiak, you're right ahead. As you're falling.
I would have done it if I could have got
Right.
one more eye.
Okay. You could have done it anyway. You don't have to do it just because like they. You
Well, the
can do
last
whatever you
time I
want.
brought a demon to the campaign, it kind of derailed things a little bit. I wanted to have, at least,
to
2 votes of approval.
blame everyone else for the
You
decision.
wanted possible tonight, Melody.
I summoned a demon in self-defense. It wasn't my fault.
Yeah. All right, let's do some closing plugs. Get the hell out of here before we disconnect again. Maitreyi, where can we find you on the internet?
Maitreyi's games are on YouTube where I make system agnostic or multi-system tabletop content. That's it. There's the dream plays, Vince.
Awesome. Steven, what do you got going on, man?
Yeah, I made a game called Huckleberry. It's a mix of like Hellboy and Tombstone. It is available for pre-order right now. HuckleberryRPG.com/pre-order. Use code LOLLY to get $5 off.
Fantastic. As for us, next game up is Monday. We're currently scheduled to do some Wear and Danger, playing through a Death in Space scenario, actually. So having a lot of fun with that. I think Tuesday we're going to be premiering Wild Seed, doing some character creation, Session 0, that kind of good stuff. Thursday next week, we've got, what's that called? Legend in the Mist.
And then Saturday we'll be back and we'll figure out, do they make it to the mountain? Does the mountain make it to them? I don't know. Something like that. Whatever. Anyhow, we're going to raid somebody. We'll see y'all later. Have a great rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.
I'll be seeing you.
Bye.